Good morning students. In this class we will discuss about electric field due to uniformly charged spherical shell. Okay. So in this case we will take two objects, okay, or two cases. Okay. One is Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface. You know very well about Gaussian surface. It is an imaginary surface. And another one is a spherical shell. Spherical shell. Okay. First, consider a charged spherical shell. This is the first case. Consider a charged spherical shell. It has some radius r. Okay. Consider q as a quantity of charge q. Okay. Suppose if it is positive charge means its electric field lines acting outward. Okay, from outside, because of at a point outside the cell. So, at a point outside the cell, we consider one imaginary surface or Gaussian surface, and it has radius small r. Okay, so compared to spherical shell, Gaussian surface occupy very much space, or r value, the radius of r compared to the spherical shell is maximum. So, r is greater than capital R. This is the first condition. So, what we use the formula pi, which is equal to integral E dot dA. Okay, pi which is equal to integral E dot dA. But pi which is equal to Q divided by epsilon naught, which is equal to integral E dot dA. Okay. Q divided by epsilon naught, which is equal to, take E as constant value, E which is equal to dA. Integral dA which is equal to A. Q divided by epsilon naught, which is equal to E into A. A means area of the sphere. What is the area of the sphere? 4 pi r square. Okay. So, E which is equal to Q divided by epsilon naught into 4 pi r square. We write this equation in vector form. E vector which is equal to Q divided by 4 pi r square into epsilon naught into r cap. That's all. And next, our second category, an electric field at a point inside the shell. At a point inside the shell. What will happen here? Consider a Gaussian surface inside the sphere. This is Gaussian surface. Gaussian surface. In this case, straight away we will conclude, because a Gaussian surface is not placed in a charged character or a charged object. Okay. So, consider this Q which is equal to 0, quantity of charge which is equal to 0, and as well as electric field which is equal to 0. So, therefore, electric flux due to this case which is equal to 0. Okay. And our third category, R which is equal to capital R which is equal to small r, an object of radius which is equal to Gaussian surface radius, which means the equation becomes, the first case equation becomes E which is equal to Q divided by epsilon naught into 4 pi. In the place of small r square we use capital R square. That's all. Very easy. And that's all students. This 5 mark is over. One of the applications of properties of Gauss law. Okay. And next topic, we are going to our new topic. Our new topic, conductors at electrostatic equilibrium. We know very well conductors, all atoms are conductors. Okay. In conductors, it has equal number of protons as well as equal number of electrons. We know very well. Okay, this is called electrostatic equilibrium. Equilibrium means equal number of protons as well as equal number of electrons. Okay, they are giving the rules. First rule, the electric field is 0 everywhere inside the conductor. Okay, why the electric field is 0 in between inside the conductor? So already we will see the plane sheets, charge acting on plane sheets. Okay, so the net charge acting on this conductor 2 plus 2 as well as minus 2, both are cancelling each other, which is equal to 0. Okay, so they are giving the first case, the electric field is 0 everywhere inside the conductor. This is true regardless of whether the conductor is solid or hollow. Okay, both cases we are use 0. There is no net charge inside the conductors. The charges must reside only on the surface of the conductors because there is no net charge, because both are in equal state. And your third point, the electric field outside the conductor is perpendicular to the surface. Suppose electric field acts on the conductor, it will normal or perpendicular to the conductor. Okay, or perpendicular to the conductor and has some magnitude, it has some value, we know very well, sigma divided by epsilon naught. Okay, sigma divided by epsilon naught. And our fourth property, the electrostatic potential has the same value on the surface and inside the conductor. Inside the conductor, the potential value is same because we do not change any long infinity charge wire, plane, sheet, shell. Okay, so inside the conductor is same. And one more interesting topic is there, that is electrostatic shielding. Okay, the topic determines the shielding. What is mean by shielding? To separate some place, okay, or unique medium is called shielding. Okay, in electrostatic shielding, it is using the principle of Gauss law. Okay, the Gauss law told electric field inside the conductor 0 or electric field inside the cavity is 0. Okay, so same thing we are used here. We take one surface, a metal body. Okay, electric field inside the body. Electric field inside the body is 0 because a metal has equal number of protons as well as equal number of electrons. So Q which is equal to 0. There is no charge here. Because of this property, this Gaussian surface property, we use in the lightning as well as thunderstorm. Okay, in lightning, why it is safer to sit inside a car than in a open ground? Which one is safe? Because we sit inside the car is safe because the shield of the car provides electrostatic shielding because it has some metal. Okay, what is the rule we are using from that? A metal of the car provides electrostatic shielding. Okay, when a light or thunderstorm is attacked to the top of the metal of car top surface, the leakage of charge from its sharp points okay, this is the real what I am using the lightning arresters, conductors. This is the principle we are using in our everyday life. And next, electrostatic induction. Induction is nothing but motivation of charges. Induction is nothing but motivation of charges. Okay, consider a metal surface or a spherical shell. It has two charges. You know very well all metals have equal number of protons and equal number of electrons. Okay, here with what is mean by induction? One more category is there, without touching the object. Without touching the object or without contact. Okay, so I place one silk rod here. It has negative charge. Okay, just I motivate these charges. It charges separately. I put ground to the negative charges. Okay, it occupies some positive charges. This is the induction property we are using. Okay, so because of charges, so we in the result of induction we have only one charge. Only one charge. This is called induction property. Okay, that's all. Thank you, students.